So yes, we're talking about other things, problems that come along with eating the seed oils or eating refined grains, or there could be all these unique problems to these smaller ingredients that make up foods that could harm our bodies in other ways. But the biggest factor is this nutrient to energy story, because over time you need to eat the right amount of nutrients, the right amount of energy, or your body's going to become metabolically damaged. Right. So all of these diseases of civilization are basically because of metabolic problems. They're
Mm.
really most of them stemming from that insulin resistance, like even dementia, Alzheimer's. They're calling that type 3 diabetes. So that's basically an energy problem with your body, and your brain can't get the energy it needs. So that's again a metabolic problem. Cancer. Dr. Thomas Seyfried, you can listen to him do a lot of content on why cancer is a metabolic disease. Most cancers are a metabolic disease. They stem from metabolic problems. Heart disease, cardiovascular disease, obviously metabolic diseases. These are diseases of too much energy and not enough nutrients,
Mm.
right? Over time, if you give your body not enough nutrients and too much energy, it goes haywire. It doesn't know how to deal with that. This has never happened for human history. If you were just eating whole foods from your environment, your body had the right nutrients and the right amount of energy, and it had the right body composition, and it had the right amount of fat. I'm not saying everyone needs to be a six-pack model on a cover of a magazine, but we were all generally in the right body composition, right? In the right metabolic health. But when you start eating foods where this scale is completely tipped in the wrong direction, this is all processed foods. That's what processed foods are, is basically foods that have an insane amount of energy and not enough nutrients,
Mm.
right? And
Yeah.
so if you keep eating those, the more you eat them, the more you're throwing this balance out of whack. The more and over time, some people can get away with it for longer than others. So that's another part, because people are like, oh, I don't know, bro. It's like bro science people. You're like, this guy, like, I know this bro in the gym, and he's just like, he eats Skittles and like he's all good. I'm like, yeah, he's also crushing a whole lot of protein and eggs, and he's, yeah, in the gym for 2 hours a day. So it's like if you are in the gym for 2 hours a day, you can get away with some Skittles. It's fine.
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah.
because that's you're actually balancing your nutrient to energy properly, right? A
Yeah.
lot of athletes can afford to eat some processed foods, especially when they're younger too. And then what happens? They get older, they stop playing sports, and they become overweight, and they get sick, and they get the chronic diseases. So this is also a long-term game. But long term, if you're all I mean, you really just need to focus on that nutrient to energy ratio of the foods you eat to have long-term health. And it's a little, I don't know. I mean, I guess we need to make it clear for people, because if we're just saying nutrient to energy, that might not mean a lot to people. But if we can go into deeper topics.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is great. I love the nutrient to energy thought pattern when it comes to building out your meals and whatnot. Talk to me about if somebody is a vegetarian or something, and they think I can get vitamins and minerals from my fruits and veggies. I can get enough protein from beans and nuts and seeds and other legumes and grains and stuff like that. Like, what can I, if I'm a vegetarian, I'm asking, what can I not get from my plant-based diet that I need to be getting from meat?
Yeah, well, there's many things that are only in animal foods, like vitamin B12, the team iron, like the right kind of iron that we need. There's carnitine. There's some that like DHA, like omega 3, certain types of omega 3s are fully formed, right? That you can
Yeah.
get in seafood that aren't fully formed in, like, say, chia seeds or walnuts. People like to say, oh, there's so much omega. This is not the same stuff. And then also to the protein side, yes, I mean, you could kind of piecemeal together enough protein from beans and rice and nuts and all these different things, but these still are not the full spectrum proteins that we need. They're not bioavailable in the same way that animal foods are, and they don't have the full spectrum of amino acids. And so, yeah, I mean, you can get by. Yeah, it's then we're getting to story of thrive versus survive,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, yes, you can get by for a number of years on that, but I don't know. I know a lot of vegetarians actually that have been doing it for a long time, right? We talked about the hippie movement, 60s, 70s. I know a lot of people of a certain age who are now in their 60s and 70s who grew up in that era and they're so proud of their vegetarian diet. They're on 6 medications, they're overweight, and they have, falling out hair and they just don't look very good.
Yeah.
Right? It's just
No,
like, yeah, they're surviving. And then I don't want to be super anecdotal, but then you have guys like Mark Sisson, right, who's 70 and is in perfect health and ripped and thriving.
Yeah. No doubt. I think that is such a huge part of the conversation that doesn't get discussed enough, is like the survive versus thrive. Like, your podcast is not called mediocre human. Your podcast is called peak human. It's like oftentimes people make decisions because they see somebody else doing something and they might be in good health right now, or they might just seem in good health right now. So I'm going to do what they're doing. But it's like, are they actually the optimized version of themselves right now? Or are they actually the less optimized version of themselves? I think that's so many people miss that point of context. So I appreciate you drawing that out.